And here we are for our last game of the night. House Party 5v5's Premier League. Welcome everybody that's just now joining us. We've had an amazing night tonight. Quite a few really close competitive games. And there is no reason to believe that our next game, Macro Mavericks, up against Spooky Midnight, will be any different. Joining me for this game, me and my good friends Dave.
What's going on?
And of course, Det.
Hey guys.
So we're seeing bands come out. Nocturne, Gnar, already on the blue side, red side, Cho'Gath, and Azir. The Azir could be a targeted ban.
The Azir is very likely a targeted ban.
But at the same time, it's Azir, so I'm just expecting
is
it to
Azir.
be
Right,
Azir.
it's worth banning all
He is
on its
very
own.
good right now.
Right? I mean, that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah, I've said for a while, I think Gragas has the best ultimate in the game. If I had to put it down to number 2, it'd be Azir, because he does almost the same thing. It can split a team in half, completely displace your strategy going into a fight. He just he has to be standing in the right spot, whereas Gragas doesn't. But he's got so many other really neat things to his kit. He just brings a lot of power to a table. So I'm not surprised to see that get banned out. But hey, Gragas getting picked up for Macro Mavericks. So you get the Azir banned against you. You can take the Gragas in. It works just fine.
I think my favorite thing about first picking Gragas is the fact that you literally do not show a single thing when you first pick Gragas. You literally pick it, and that's it. And then it goes over to the other team where they have 2 picks and then decide, okay, well, what do we play? Like, it's really up to them. And I mean, you could pick something like this, Nautilus Sivir, and you really don't show anything either. And it's kind of like, who will show their hand first type of thing. And that's kind of what it comes down to when you pick these picks. But at the same time, it's kind of hard because you kind of want to show your hand. It's kind of like playing the tell game. Like, you really need to figure out exactly what you want to show and what you don't want to show, and the fact that you usually just first pick Gragas and that's it, and then you go into.
We talk a lot about like Sivir comps and stuff, and of the Sivir bot lanes, I think my personal favorite is actually the Nautilus. It did get nerfed, but I like it because he has so much CC. He is so good at peeling for a carry who doesn't have any form of self-peel.
Right? Yeah, that's my favorite part about it.
He's definitely able to keep carries very safe, and he's just
seeing the Hecarim lock.
I was just about to ask about the Hecarim lock, because we haven't really seen any Hecarims.
We haven't seen the Hecarim tops as much. It did get nerfed a little bit, but it is still strong. It's still nothing like inherently changed about the playstyle of it. It just kind of fell out of favor because other things were being played. People were playing Maokai, people were playing Ryze, people were playing Gnar, but Macro Mavericks is like, hey, we can still play Hecarim.
We've got the Riven lock-in as well. Shyvana's seeing a real big resurgence here lately in play. A lot of people taking that Shyvana out for a spin now.
I chalk it up almost entirely to the Devourer change. I've talked about it. I will continue to talk about it. It is such a good item on her, especially after the changes that they made to her that made her on hits so much stronger. It trades the early game tankiness of a Cinderhulk for this ridiculous amount of damage that you can put out.
So that's kind of what it comes down to with the new Shyvana. Granted, this Shyvana is most likely going to go Flash, so I approve of it over Teleport's Might.
Locking in the Diana. Always love to see a Diana game. I'm not sure how this top lane is going to go. Riven is not exactly known for stomping Hecarim, but Swatson did manage to pick that one up after he already knew who his opponent top was going to be. So perhaps he's got quite a bit of proficiency on that champion coming into that lane.
Well, I think it's especially going to be a sort of like a skill matchup really early, because if Riven can get a CS lead, if Riven can get a kill, maybe even 2, then he cannot stay in the lane anymore. Hecarim just will die every time. He'll be forced to use his ult instantly. and it'll just snowball towards spooky midnight. Bleh.
That's pretty much what Riven does every game against every opponent. It's it's a dangerous, very steep snowball slope, and Akuma Shingami, he's gonna have to take that into account.
Yeah, nonetheless, I also got a note. I mean, that is a flash smite Diana mid. So, I mean, that's already like a big yes in my book. I love the new smite, and especially on like champs like Diana compared to like Ezreal and the other. I guess it's really just Ezreal and Diana, but nonetheless, it's a Diana with smite. So pulling out the Runeglaive, granted it got nerfed, but I still think Diana is probably one of the few champions it's still good on compared to say Ezreal, where it just kind of fell off in the meta and didn't really come down to it. But nonetheless, it's still a good pickup and a lot of damage on Spooky Midnight. Like they have a Riven, a Diana, and like a Shyvana who's definitely going to be going Devour, so end up doing a lot of damage. And throwing a Nautilus support who's known for having the highest, probably some of the highest damage in the game as a support, and then you have a Sivir just to be the support of the team, which is kind of weird to say, but nonetheless, now it's going to come down to. So,
okay, so
really excited to
suspicions.
see how this comp works out.
Suspicions confirmed. Swatson 65% win rate with Riven in Diamond 1 solo queue. So,
all right,
yeah,
makes sense.
Well, you play what you know. That is always better than picking a counter that you don't know. Riven, not really known for dumpstering Hecarim, but you can't argue with 65% in Diamond 1. That's pretty good stats backing him into this lane.
Yep. I'm excited to see how this plays out. It's going to be either really snowbally or zero snowballing at all.
If previous games are any indication, we're going to see a lot of back and forth here, but you never can tell. All it comes down to is all it comes down to. We're going to see how that turns out, guys. Cash is going to take a short break as we head into loading screen. We will be back in a flash. Stick with us. And welcome back to the action, everybody. House Party 5v5's Premier League. Macro Mavericks on the blue side. Spooky Midnight on the red side. I'm Miro Sanson, beat shoutcasting this game with my good friend Dave.
What's going on? Feels like season 2 all over again. Me and you back in the caster's chair.
I'm telling you. Wow. Whatever you
I'm such an absolute... I'm not even going to do play-by-plays. It's going to feel so weird for me. It's like I'm telling you, it's like good old days. I'm very excited. But nonetheless, let's go right into it. Really wanted an invade to happen. You know, with the Shyvana and a Riven, I just expected them just to run right in there and go at it. But of course, they decided to back out last second.
You know, we can't have a level 1 5-man flay into 5-man stun every game.
That was so smart to go gravity field. Every time I look back at him, I'm like, man, why did you do that? And then I realized like the reason why, and I was like, oh, if he would have went anything else, I would not. They would have probably lost that trade. But I mean, that's just that.
Not a bit slower start here in Macro Mavericks and Spooky Midnight, but you know, slow, steady, sometimes the smart move. So we're seeing Semantic go mid with his smite. So it'd be interesting to see what he pulls off with Diana here. Now this all this Devourer stuff is it looks like it's getting a little crazy. A lot of people are picking up on it, and probably going to see a few different changes coming up in the next pack. But until then, everybody's playing. Shockwave getting hit up a little bit of damage, but Chewbacca managing to return quite a bit onto Cafe Nowhere.
I also want to bring up the fact that the level 1 jungle from Spooky Midnight was really smart. Zark smited the Gromp and then gave it away to the Nautilus and Sivir, and then that way he can just clear his blue buff, clear his wolves, and then Riven actually took his wraiths and went top lane, TP top lane, and I mean it's the same for what is it? Hecarim took the wolves on the other side too, so I mean it's kind of I guess an even trade though. But still, it was just really interesting how like Zark basically gave up almost half of his jungle.
Swatson going in hard on Akumi. First blood going over the Spooky Midnight.
Wow.
Shockwave taking some hits here. He's gonna have to back away. Cafe Nowhere though, getting low on hit points. He's gonna have to be careful as well. Opa trying to put damage out. Flash Rocket, but the flash heal from Cafe Nowhere keeps him alive. Him and Opa going to stay in the lane, but those summoners are down.
I was close. I was like, oh, is he going to do it? I was unsure if he was going to flash for that kill. And he kind of made the right decision to flash, thinking that Unipo wouldn't waste his heal, and he kind of did it late, which was again smart, because I mean if he did it right away, Unipo would have just easily just straight up healed right away. It was just really smart of him to wait for it, and it was just kind of bad luck on his end that Unipo had the reaction to be able to heal immediately. So compared to
the rocket was mid-air when the heal went off, so that was very down to the wire.
Yeah, that's why I was like, is he gonna live? I was really questioning it. I was like, there's no way he's gonna live. And of course he lived.
We got Flash down over on the Macro Mavericks side in the bottom lane, but Flash and heal down now. That's binding, connecting onto Cafe Nowhere. That's gonna be the second kill of the game. Going over to Macro Mavericks, 1-1 so far in this contest.
Right? Yeah, that was really kind of a poor decision for Cafe to walk up into that area where he did. He kind of, I guess, was going to try and ward, and the choppers were thrown a little early. So I'm like I said, I was questioning why why he walked over there. Bam, random Gragas damage.
Oof. Getting locked down. The heal comes out. Shockwave not able to get that last auto attack damage down onto Opa. Great binding from Chewbacca. Just going to spend his last bit of mana there before heading back. Shockwave going to decide to do the same. I think that both of those have well earned their gains in lane. Watson going down hard onto Akuma here. Backs out once his cooldowns go on cooldown, but the ult gets popped. The Wind Slash going to cut right through Akuma. That's another kill in his pocket. Akuma just getting outclassed in this top lane. Very difficult lane for him.
I was just about to say how difficult this lane is for him when he gave away first blood so early. Because Riven literally is just going to continue doing the combo of Q auto, Q auto, Q auto, stun, auto, and yeah, Hecarim has the capabilities of kind of out trading early, but with the slight misplay at the level, I think it was like level 3, really gave away the lane over to Riven, and he really can't do anything else.
You can't.
I mean, after that, like he's basically stuck farming the jungle or going underneath his tower, and that's all you really can do.
Most champions need 2 to 3 kills to get fed. Riven only needs 1, sometimes 2, but in this case 1 was all it took. 2 is just gravy for Swatson at this point, so he's going to come back to lane. Going to be packing a Phage, actually. So definitely working on his Triforce. Already got 1 piece at 7 minutes in. I'd say you're sitting pretty.
He's probably going Black Cleaver. It threw me off. I was like, wait, why is he going Triforce? And then I forgot that Phage goes in the Black Cleaver as well. I'm like, oh,
sure.
Yeah. Item. The random item that Phage actually built something else, which still confuses me, but makes sense at the same time, so
Semantic hitting level 6 there, actually missed with his E, so did not get the pullback. That ability has over a 20-second cooldown. So, actually actually the longest cooldown ability for Diana, her ultimate actually on a smaller cooldown than the E.
Right, and I mean, I feel like this Diana is gonna, with the smite, it's gonna take a little bit longer to build up, because you have to build like Sheen, and then you have to build Runeglaive, and then you have to build like one other item. Watson taking a lot of damage.
Windslash goes across. Oh, Akuma may get the kill here. No, the last tower hit does not strike Swatson. He's going to get away scot-free once again, and that was just Akuma's last chance to try to get something turned around in this top lane. Instead, he's given up a kill, likely going to be giving up his turret off the back of it as well. Just not good news for Macro Mavericks.
Yeah, it was a very risky trade. I mean, he made the right decision of using his Onslaught Shadows to try like stun him up and slow him down in any way he can, but it just turned into not really. Well, I don't even want to say misplay because it wasn't really a misplay. It was just a straight outplay and understanding the champion type of difference. And like I said, like Black Cleaver at not even 9 minutes and has a Black Cleaver already. 3-0 up about 20 CS or up 20 CS exactly. And
very scary.
That is not a champion I would want to touch. And the only upside to Macro Mavericks is the fact that Hecarim is just not worth any gold, so it's almost not even worth it.
Traps do go down. Shockwave pops the heal here. Kurt coming in for the gank. Misses with his E. Misses with the final spark as well. The Jinx ultimate also missing. The exhaust can't miss with that. Goes down on the Cafe. The Binding's going to lock him up. The shield barely keeping him alive, but Boss going to be able to pick that one up. Semantic is here with the response. Does land the E that time. Passive going to take the kill for him. Chewbacca in trouble with Swatson down here. Not really going to have any room to go anywhere off the back of that. So unfortunately, more kills just going over to Spooky Midnight. Macro Mavericks having a tough time of it. They do come away with 1 out of that exchange, but again, another one going down onto Swatson. He pops the ultimate, Windslash, grabs the kill. They might even go in onto Akuma here. No, Sarge, not quite tanky enough to handle that tower yet. Swatson Semantic going to take out this mid turret though, and this game is just snowballing heavily in their direction. Boss getting caught up here, not sure what he was doing in that position. Gets a little bit of damage down onto Zard, but not quite enough to put any gold in his team's pocket.
Just continue diving over and over again. And when you're playing champions like Riven and Shyvana and Diana, and you throw in a Sivir and Nautilus, and you're like, all right, well, we're just going to dive you 24/7 whenever we get a chance, and we're going to do a lot of damage while we do it. And somehow get out because we have bits that basically make it so we can just leave the fight at any time. And I mean, that's just basically how the entire fight. That's going to be the entire mid game. It's just dive after dive after dive after dive, and the only way they're gonna lose those fights is if they just completely misplay and don't dive correctly, stay in their tower, or chase too long, and that's really how it's gonna come down to. And I mean, when you're up this far so far, they're up like 5k gold or around 5k gold. They need to be super careful coming into the sooner or later because
there's a lot of shutdown gold.
There's a lot of shutdown. There's a lot of greed that has a possibility of happening. Like they can just straight up be super greedy, dive 3 towers and then just die, and then give away that shutdown gold, do it 3 or 4 times, and they're out of nowhere just losing the game.
It's easy to have that hubris when you're so far ahead. When it's 12 minutes into the game and you've got nearly a 5,000 gold lead, it's easy to feel invincible, and that's where Macro Mavericks could get you. But I haven't quite seen that recklessness come out. Zark looked like he wanted to tower dive. He got called off by his teammates earlier. Boss getting chased down in this jungle here. Great chompers thrown out by Shockwave, going to keep his junglers safe. But this goon squad of Spooky Midnight just mobbing around the jungle. They've got complete control of it. And take a look, Riven split pushing in the top lane while Spooky Midnight take out this dragon. Looks like Macro Mavericks going to try to contest from over the wall, but they cannot step beyond this. Well, they are stepping beyond the wall. The dragon gets taken out. A beautiful steal from Boss. They are cutting through the rest of Spooky Midnight left alive, but don't quite have enough support. The rest of them looked like Boss went back over the dragon wall, picked up a kill on the backside, but the problem with that is meanwhile Swatson up in the top lane, split pushing like a beast, and has nearly got this tower cut to pieces.
Yeah, I mean, Swatson realized, all right, well, we're gonna get dragon, so I'm just gonna split push. They lost dragon. He's like, well, they lost dragon. I'm gonna split push, and he split push, and he takes control of the entire top side of the map. Like, I don't think there's a reason why anyone on Macro Mavericks is gonna go to the top side. It's
not a place you want to go. And it really...
Yeah, you see...
Swatson getting caught out here, though. He might end up giving some of this shutdown gold over. Gonna be going to none other than Akuma. That was a kill and some gold that he really wanted.
Yeah, he was a little bit too low. I mean, like, I'm not lying. He has the control of the top side of the map, but that's only when he's at like 100% HP or
and he's not
75.
getting, triple jump,
and not 1v3. I mean, he could maybe 1v2 if he catches someone out quickly, but I mean, against a Gragas and Hecarim and Gragas are going to just throw you around over and over again, and you're probably not going to win that. But still, I mean, if you're going to show your dominance, you need to be careful.
It's worth talking about that. The last time we had the Fed Riven discussion, they were down about 4,500 gold. They're down 5,500 now. So things just not really turning around in Macro Mavericks' favor. Great lockup. The final spark going to cut through Semantic here. Gragas going to be able to take that one out. Great move from the boss. Shutdown gold going over to Macro Mavericks. They continue to try to push this out. They are gaining themselves a decent foothold here. At least that's the way it looks on the scoreboard as far as the kills go. But still plenty of threat once Semantic gets back in lane. He's not choosing to bring that power to the mid lane, though. Figures his team can handle it. He's split pushing bottom.
I'm not against a split push of a Riven, but I still think the Riven should not be split pushing at this point in the game. Maybe like 25 minutes, but 15 minutes when your mid tower you're losing a mid tower. I mean, yeah, you're trading for the bot side, which is smart. I mean, it's a smart decision.
What is Akuma doing here? Going in onto Swatson. Not a good place to 1v1. He didn't even get to Horsey out of there.
I mean, he could easily do that, and if Macro Mavericks just beat kills like that, yeah, you should do exactly what he's doing, split pushing. But when Macro Mavericks had a chance to take out that mid tower and fight 5v4, then he should probably think about split pushing. I mean, yeah, he has TP, but I just feel like he needs to be at the front of the fight at the start and not be there in the later of the fight. Because yeah, you can clean up, but it's just not gonna really. It might turn bad. And when you're this far ahead, you just don't want to throw a lead. It's like the worst thing you could do. And I mean, it's a very big possibility 60 minutes in that game because goal difference is just not that big. Well, actually, no, it is pretty big. It's like 8k gold lead. So, and he steals red buff away.
Not able to jump over the dragon wall.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's a difficult jump to make. Very difficult.
No. We need to make sure everyone knows he can't jump over the dragon wall.
He can't. Not now. Maybe next time it comes up off cooldown, he might give it another go. But yeah,
so most disheartening thing is like a Nidalee or
Opa is not in a good spot. Had to flash out on the hunt. Gets popped. He's using the attack speed, but the rocket hits. Heal, gonna keep him alive. Swatson coming in now. Turns on the ultimate, reforms the sword. The wind slash gonna pick him up a kill, and Spooky Midnight just keep taking 2 inches every time Macro Mavericks manage to gain 1.
Yeah, it was a really smart TP from Swatson. TP right behind them, and yeah, it was that's basically how it went right there.
So when he's joining
came
the
in
fight,
behind, yeah, if he came in from like the side or a different came from the side or like the front of the fight, it might be a little bit different for Macro Mavericks, but they were literally stuck in a bind. They literally had to go either to the right and end up getting caught by Swatson, which kind of happened, but Kurt was able to hit off a binding, so it kind of stopped him a little bit, but at the same time, I feel like if he didn't hit that binding, then he probably would have got onto the entire team instead of just one person.
So every single step that Macro Mavericks make right now needs to be framed around where is Swatson at? What is he doing? And what should we hold in order to deal with him when eventually we have to? So obviously exhaust. Chewbacca didn't need to be blowing exhaust on anybody but the Riven, and maybe even then that might not be enough to stop Swatson. Dragon Pit getting cleared out. Spooky Midnight in possession of 1 dragon. Could have been 2. Lost in the neighborhood trying to get vision down himself, but gets spotted out. The rest of Spooky Midnight are there. Boss managing to get away from what looked like a sure death for him. That's going to leave his team in position to try to contest from over the wall once again. Swatson is in the mid lane, and there's a 5-man squad near Dragon. Swatson very nearby. They're going to have to keep their eyes on him as they try to contest this. They are definitely looking for Boss to come up over the wall again. He goes again, not finding the same luck this time that he did last, but the flash is there. Swatson going ham into the middle of 5 people. Gets dealt quite a bit of damage, but the kill does end up going over to his team. Akuma duking it out with Swatson here. Chewbacca's on cooldown, doesn't have anything to contribute. A great jump over the wall by Swatson, and that just sealed the deal for Spooky Midnight. That fight just looked like you wanted it to work for Macro Mavericks. You had this semblance of hope that it was going to work, and it just didn't work out. Really great movement from Spooky Midnight, and great use of Swatson getting in there in 1v5 while the rest of his team caught up.
Yeah, it was just so random. He just like walked in. He was like, "All right, well, my whole team's fighting the dragon, your front line or your Gragas. I'm just gonna dive in the back line, and guys can't really do anything about it. So that's that." I mean, that's the best way I can put it.
It's hard to do something about it at this point. But
yeah, and the fact, I believe Diana was able to get back over the wall, as well, and ended up everyone else was able to show up in the fight. Swatson was able to get kited a little bit due to the bindings from Lux and Morgana, but it was still pretty smart of what is it? Pretty smart of Swatson, just kind of go and beat Nuisance in the backline. Doesn't die or anything like that. I mean, he basically 1v4 until his teammates came in.
Semantic clearing out his blue. Gonna provide him some much needed mana regen and cooldown. He's doing alright on the champion, but really hasn't been able to ride the snowball train and get set up there. Akuma facing off against Zark, but really Akuma doesn't need to be facing off against anybody at this point. He's just a lot further behind than a lot of other people out there. And you know, everybody on Spooky Midnight is looking formidable. They're sharing the gold. They're getting fed. It's one of those situations where there aren't a lot of good answers to all the problems that Spooky Midnight are putting on the table for Macro Mavericks.
Yeah, and you know, like I said, Macro Mavericks are having a little hard time. It's still early in the game. They could easily, you know, turn it around. I mean, as long as they don't.
Following up.
That was really close there.
Very close. The 2v1 Swatson going in on the boss. Already dealt Chewbacca quite a bit of damage. Pops the ultimate. Gets blown back by the Gragas. Quite a well-placed Gragas ultimate. But Chewbacca goes in hard anyway. Gets one kill. Swatson goes in hard. Swatson nearly cut Chewbacca down, but he escaped with about 20 health on the bars. And Swatson showing no sign of stopping, but the surrender vote coming out just too overwhelming for Macro Mavericks to handle, and Spooky Midnight end up carrying the game.
Like I said before, it was just kind of a they took advantage of their lead. They kept their lead, and that's it. Like that's the entire how the entire game went. They got the lead they wanted. They were able to keep it, which is the most important part about it is, you know, you get a lead, you throw it away, and you never really had a lead at the start because you threw it away, like gone. So nonetheless, I mean, great game coming out from Spooky Midnight. They put that very well. Very definitely, you know, gives Zark a win. Zark's team versus Spooky Midnight, they finally have a win on the board that's not a forfeit. So congratulations to them.
They did a great job. Swatson came out real big for him. Definitely all eyes in the league going to be on him and his champion pool as Spooky Midnight continues through this series. Guys, that is the end of our games today. I want to say thank you to everybody for coming out. I think this has probably been the most competitive game day of House Party 5v5's history so far. So congratulations to all of you that won. Best of luck next week to all of you that didn't, and we'll see you guys next